As football continues to evolve, the legacy of Toni Kroos and Thomas Müller stands as a reminder that intelligence never goes out of style. Long after the final pass is played and the final goal is scored, their influence will remain written in the history of the game. They did not chase greatness, they built it, patiently and relentlessly. Season after season, Kroos leaves behind the image of absolute control. A midfielder who never rushed, never panicked, and never lost his sense of purpose. His passes were not just accurate, they were statements. Statements of authority, composure, and mastery. Müller leaves behind a legacy of instinct and movement. A player who proved that understanding space is one of football's greatest weapons. And that selflessness can be just as powerful as skill. Together, they defined what it meant to play for Germany and for elite clubs at the highest level. They won everything there was to win, but more importantly, they earned respect across the footballing world. Fans, teammates, opponents, and coaches all recognize their value not because of hype, but because of results. When future generations look back on this era, they will not only see trophies and statistics, they will see to players who understood the game at its deepest level. To players who made football look simple when it was anything but. Toni Kroos and Thomas Müller did not just play football, they understood it, mastered it, and left it better than they found it. And in the end, that is the true mark of legends. Thomas Müller was born on September 13, 1989, in Weilheim in Oberbayern, Bavaria, Germany. Raised in a small village environment, Müller grew up surrounded by traditional German values, discipline, humility, and hard work. From a very young age, football was a natural part of his life. Unlike many future stars, Müller was not immediately labeled as a prodigy based on raw physical talent. But his intelligence and love for the game were obvious early on. Müller began his football journey at a local club, TSV, where he quickly stood out due to his unusual playing style and sharp instincts. In 2000, at just 10 years old, he joined the Bayern Munich Youth Academy, a move that would shape the rest of his life. From the beginning, Müller showed exceptional awareness, tactical understanding, and an incredible sense for goals and assists. Even if he didn't always look graceful on the ball. He progressed through Bayern's youth ranks. Müller became known for his versatility. He could play as an attacking midfielder, winger, second striker, or even deeper roles when required. His ability to read space and make decisive runs made him a nightmare for defenders. By the late 2000s, it was clear that Bayern had developed a very special player. Thomas Müller made his first team debut for Bayern Munich in 2008 under coach Jürgen Klinsmann. But it was under Louis van Gaal that his career truly exploded. Van Gaal believed in Müller's intelligence and gave him a regular starting role during the 2009-10 season. Müller repaid that trust with outstanding performances, becoming one of Bayern's most productive players in goals and assists. That season, he helped Bayern reach the Champions League final and win domestic titles, establishing himself as a first-team regular. The 2010 FIFA World Cup in South Africa marked Müller's arrival on the global stage. At just 20 years old, he scored 5 goals and provided several assists, winning the Golden Boot and Best Young Player awards. His performances stunned the football world and confirmed that Germany had discovered a new star. Müller's intelligent movement, clinical finishing, and relentless work rate made him one of the tournament's standout players. Following the World Cup, Müller continued to grow at Bayern Munich. Under coaches like Jupp Heynckes, Pep Guardiola, Carlo Ancelotti, and others, he adapted his role while remaining crucial to the team. He played a major part in Bayern's legendary 2012-13 treble-winning season, contributing goals, assists, and tireless pressing as Bayern dominated German and European football. Thomas Müller became synonymous with Bayern Munich's identity. Season after season, he delivered double-digit goals and assists, often sacrificing personal glory for the team's success. His leadership qualities emerged naturally, and he became a vocal presence both on and off the pitch. Müller's loyalty to Bayern was unwavering, rejecting opportunities to leave and committing his entire professional career to the club. Internationally, Müller's legacy grew even stronger. At the 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil, he played a crucial role in Germany's historic triumph. He scored important goals throughout the tournament and was instrumental in the famous 7-1 semifinal victory over Brazil. Germany went on to lift the World Cup, and Müller cemented his place as one of the greatest World Cup performers in history. Müller continued to represent Germany in multiple European championships and World Cups by the end of his international career. He had accumulated an impressive goal tally and became one of Germany's all-time leading scorers in major tournaments. His pressing, work ethic, and football intelligence made him invaluable, even when his role shifted with age, despite facing periods where new coaches questioned his role or reduced his playing time. Müller consistently proved his value. He reinvented himself time and again, adapting his movement and responsibilities. His resilience and professionalism allowed him to remain at the top level well into his 30s, continuing to contribute decisively in crucial matches off the pitch. Thomas Müller is known for his humor, authenticity, and grounded personality. He is married to Lisa Müller, a professional dressage rider, and is deeply connected to rural Bavarian life. Müller is also involved in charity work and is admired for his straightforward honesty in interviews. As his career matured, Müller became a symbol of longevity, intelligence, and loyalty. He is widely regarded as one of the most unique attacking players football has ever seen, a footballer who cannot be defined by position, but only by impact. His trophies include multiple Bundesliga titles, Champions League trophies, domestic cups, and a World Cup, placing him among the most decorated German players of all time. Today, Thomas Müller stands as a legend of Bayern Munich and German football. His legacy is not built on flair alone, but on intelligence, selflessness, and consistency. From a small Bavarian village to the pinnacle of world football, Thomas Müller's journey proves that understanding the game can be just as powerful as raw talent. He is, and will always be, the ultimate Raumdeuter. Toni Kroos and Thomas Müller share a legacy that goes far beyond individual brilliance. Both players represent the golden generation of German football that dominated the world stage in the 2010s. They were central figures in Germany's rise to global supremacy, playing crucial roles in one of the most successful eras in the nation's football history. Their careers overlap perfectly in timing, purpose, and achievement, making them inseparable when discussing modern German football excellence. One of the strongest bonds between Kroos and Müller is their contribution to Germany's 2014 FIFA World Cup triumph. Both players were key starters throughout the tournament and delivered legendary performances when it mattered most. Kroos controlled games from midfield with unmatched composure and precision, while Müller exploited space, pressed relentlessly, and scored vital goals. Together, they were instrumental in Germany's historic 7-1 semifinal victory over Brazil, a match that stands as one of the most iconic performances in World Cup history. Their combined intelligence and execution dismantled one of the greatest footballing nations on the biggest stage. At club level, both Kroos and Müller were shaped by Bayern Munich, one of the most dominant clubs in world football. Although Kroos later moved to Real Madrid, his development, mentality, and winning mindset were forged in Bayern's system, the same environment where Müller spent his entire career. Both players were part of Bayern's culture of discipline, tactical intelligence, and relentless pursuit of trophies. They helped Bayern dominate the Bundesliga for years, setting standards that few clubs in Europe could match. Another major similarity between Kroos and Müller is their trophy-winning consistency. Both players collected domestic league titles, national cups, and international trophies year after year. They were not one-season wonders or short-term stars. Instead, they delivered elite performances across more than a decade. Whether it was Bundesliga title races, Champions League knockout matches, or international tournaments, both players were trusted in the biggest moments. Kroos and Müller also share a rare footballing quality, exceptional game intelligence. Neither player relies primarily on pace or physical strength. Kroos dictates tempo, controls space, and chooses the perfect pass, while Müller reads the game instinctively, finding space others cannot see. Their intelligence allows them to dominate matches without needing constant touches or flashy plays. This shared mental sharpness made them invaluable to coaches and teammates alike. Another key similarity lies in their adaptability. Throughout their careers, both players thrived under multiple coaches and tactical systems. Kroos excelled in different midfield roles, from attacking playmaker to deep-lying controller, while Müller adapted to playing as a winger, attacking midfielder, second striker, or even a pressing forward. No matter the system, both players found ways to influence games, proving their football understanding transcended tactics. Leadership is another common thread. Neither Kroos nor Müller is known for theatrical captaincy, yet both led by example. Kroos' calmness under pressure gave confidence to his teammates, especially in high-stakes matches. Müller's relentless energy, communication, and pressing set the tone for the team. Together, they represented two sides of leadership, control, and chaos working in perfect harmony. Both players are also known for their mental strength in crucial matches. In finals, semifinals, and title-deciding games, Kroos and Müller rarely disappeared. Instead, they elevated their performances. Their ability to remain composed while others panicked made them difference-makers at the highest level of football. This mentality is a major reason why they collected so many trophies throughout their careers. Off the pitch, Kroos and Müller share professionalism and loyalty to their values. They avoided unnecessary controversies, focused on football, and maintained consistent performances year after year. They became role models for younger players, showing that discipline, intelligence, and humility can lead to long-lasting success at the top of the game. Ultimately, what Toni Kroos and Thomas Müller have in common is legacy. Both are World Cup winners. Both are Champions League winners. Both are symbols of modern German football dominance. And both proved that football intelligence, teamwork, and consistency are just as powerful as flair and athleticism. Together, they defined an era where Germany stood at the summit of world football, guided by two of its smartest minds. As football continues to evolve, the legacy of Toni Kroos and Thomas Müller stands as a reminder that intelligence never goes out of style. Long after the final pass is played and the final goal is scored, their influence will remain written in the history of the game. They did not chase greatness, they built it, patiently and relentlessly. Season after season, Kroos leaves behind the image of absolute control, a midfielder who never rushed, never panicked, and never lost his sense of purpose. His passes were not just accurate, they were statements of authority, composure, and mastery. Müller leaves behind a legacy of instinct and movement, a player who proved that understanding space is one of football's greatest weapons, and that selflessness can be just as powerful as skill. Together, they defined what it meant to play for Germany and for elite clubs at the highest level. They won everything there was to win, but more importantly, they earned respect across the footballing world. Fans, teammates, opponents, and coaches all recognize their value not because of hype, but because of results. When future generations look back on this era, they will not only see trophies and statistics, they will see to players who understood the game at its deepest level, to players who made football look simple when it was anything but. Toni Kroos and Thomas Müller did not just play football, they understood it, mastered it, and left it better than they found it. And in the end, that is the true mark of legends.